if you are like most Christians, you want to share the gospel with people. You want to see people come to know Jesus and to see them forgiven of their sins and to feel that kind of release of the guilt and the weight that sin causes and all that kind of stuff. But if you are like most Christians, you feel ill-equipped and unqualified to evangelize. And then, like most Christians, you're going to come to your pastor at some point and say, gosh, pastor, I really should evangelize more. And you're going to feel the weight of that. I don't want that. That's not what God intended when he commanded us to go and share the gospel with people. And so what I want to do is take a word from Pastor Kevin's wonderful post on discipleship last week. I want to demystify evangelism. It's this big Latin sounding word that kind of freaks a lot of people out. And it doesn't need to, really, because when we talk about doing evangelism, really what we're talking about is this. We're helping people with their God problem. So if you agree that this person who you would like to see come to Christ, if you agree they have a God problem, then as a Christian, you would also agree that God has given you a gospel that is perfectly suited to fix that problem. So people's God problem, we've explained this at length in other videos, and we'll continue to do it. But just real basically, I mean, it's sin, right? God says, do this, we go and do that. He says, zig, we zag. So we've got a God problem because we're rebellious by nature and by choice. And then all of our other problems sort of flow out of that problem that we sin against God. So when people have problems or they have these questions and you're trying to answer them, the term evangelism seems really formal and seems like something we should be an expert at, and it puts an undue pressure on us. So get rid of that terminology if it doesn't help you, okay? Just think about the person and their God problem. And if they've got one, then you start asking the Lord, okay, are you creating an opportunity for me to go and help them out? Do you want me to help them with their God problem? And if so, you tell them about the Christ that died for their sins and rose from the dead. You can even tell them. I've started telling people this. You realize that's a God problem, right? And then that's not a category most people think in, so we can engage in conversation about what a God problem is. And then, I got a God problem too. Here's how God solved it for me, and boom, there you go. So I want to kind of bring this down to ground level. I do not want you to feel a weight that you are supposed to be doing evangelism. Just go solve some people's problems. Let me know if I can help.